Someone said, old age is the winter of a person's life. But I witnessed a winter, one that made me want to live more slowly, but more deeply. After 60, your body might slow down, but your soul gets a chance to live more profoundly. The race is over. The worry of, am I good enough, fast enough, or have I done enough is gone. We no longer have to prove a thing to anyone. We just need to be true to ourselves. I used to think retirement was just a time for counting pills, until I realized there are incredible things that only happen after you turn 60. The freedom to own your own time, the chance to look back on a life lived and smile because you truly lived it. The opportunity to reconnect with family, not from obligation, but from pure love. You have come such a long way, and now it is time to live, more slowly, but more deeply, with less, but with more meaning. In this video, I'll share 5 reasons why life after 60 isn't just okay, it's genuinely wonderful. This isn't the age of retirement, it's the age of coming home to yourself. Let's dive in. The first reason, the freedom to do what you love every single day. Have you ever lived an entire day, not for anyone else, but purely for yourself? If the answer is no, then your 60s might be the first time you get to truly live. I remember my 30s and 40s. Each morning was a sprint, getting the kids to school, rushing to work, getting home too breathless to do anything but start dinner. The whole day would vanish with no time that was truly mine. I used to wish for just one day to sit, sip tea, and listen to music without a deadline. Then I turned 60, and miraculously, that little dream came true. Not with a fanfare, but quietly and completely. After 60, no alarm clock jolts me awake. I wake up when I feel rested. I eat when I am actually hungry, and I eat what I enjoy, not for others, not in a rush. I can take a walk at dawn, admire the porch flowers, reread an old favorite book, or call a dear friend just for a quick laugh. At this age, nobody expects me to hit a quota, get a promotion, or outperform anyone. The only thing I need to do is be myself, and that, to me, is the most authentic freedom. A Pew Research Center survey found nearly 70% of Americans over 60 feel freer in their personal choices than they did when they were younger. Freedom from your own expectations, from your routine, from the smallest pressures, a freedom that youth, despite its energy, often lacks. I have a friend, Eleanor, who spends an hour every day painting with watercolors. She doesn't sell them or show them. She just paints for her own peace of mind. She says, I spent my whole life taking care of others. Now I'm choosing to take care of my soul. And from her, I learned something simple. Old age isn't an ending. It's the start of a new chapter, where every single word is written by you. If you're entering your 60s feeling uncertain, try sitting down and asking, what do I truly want to do for myself today? Maybe it's coffee with a friend, a gentle yoga class, or just a peaceful, uninterrupted afternoon nap. At this age, you don't need permission. You just need to give yourself permission to live, freely, peacefully, and fully. And then, as you live each on your own terms, you'll discover a quiet treasure that has been growing for years, your experiences, which nothing can replace. Do you know what disappears forever if you have no stories left to tell? It's not your things, it's not your money, it's your memories, something no one can ever recreate if you keep them all to yourself. I used to think that getting older meant slowing down, falling behind. But one day at a family get-together, my grandchild asked, Grandma, where did you and Grandpa first meet? And I felt like I was opening an old treasure chest. Inside were so many stories, memories, and lessons that my children and grandchildren had never heard. After 60, your most valuable asset isn't your health. It's the rich tapestry of life experience you've gathered. Something you can't buy, can't learn from a book, and can't rush to acquire. I have survived great loss, lived through times of scarcity, and raised children from nothing. I have loved, made mistakes, and picked myself back up. Each of those moments now is a piece of who I am today. resilient, wise, and compassionate enough to smile at life's imperfections. Research from the Stanford Center on Longevity shows that people over 60 have the highest levels of inner calm because they have been through enough not to panic over setbacks and are not easily swayed by superficial things. That is a richness no amount of money can match. I remember a gentleman named James from my painting class who was a former firefighter. One day our young instructor was frantically trying to fix a leaky pipe. He just said gently, "Step aside, let me handle this." And with a few quick turns, the leak stopped. The girl was stunned. He just smiled. After 50 years of fighting fires, fixing a small leak is kind of fun. I realized he wasn't just fixing a pipe. He was demonstrating something profound. Older people are living libraries. If you're feeling no longer useful, please remember, every single thing you've lived through is a lesson the younger generation needs, a source of hope the next generation is looking for. Tell your stories, share your wisdom, be proud, because no one is as wealthy as you when it comes to the gifts that time has left in your heart. Don't hide away your past, because sometimes that one story is what keeps a family's memory alive. Now for our third reason, enjoying priority access in many public services. I have spent a lifetime waiting in lines for work, lines for my children, lines for my duties. But that day I was waiting in line at the bank. An employee walked up, smiled and said, "Ma'am, you can use the priority lane, do you?" I was taken aback. It had been so long since I was invited to the front, not for my status, but simply for my age. It was then I realized, after 60, society begins to offer you these small yet heartwarming courtesies. At this age, I have a Medicare card. I get regular checkups without stressing about the cost. On the bus, I just show my senior pass to ride freely, and sometimes the driver pulls right up to the curb to help me step on. Libraries, parks, and museums have programs designed just for seniors. I even got a movie discount once simply for being over 62. These might seem like small things, but deep down I feel seen, valued, and included. According to the National Council on Aging, now NCOA, Americans over 60 can access numerous public benefits for healthcare, food, housing, transport, and lifelong learning, all designed to ensure a high quality of life and independence in later years. I have a friend, Steve, who visits the local senior center every morning. There he learns computer skills, eats lunch with friends, and sometimes plays the piano for everyone. He told me, "I've never felt so welcomed by society. My youth was for working. This time is for living." And I get it, because after 60, we aren't pushed to the sidelines. We are invited back as treasured witnesses to time. These courtesies, a special lane, a reserved seat, or a cashier's smile, are society's gentle way of saying thank you. If you've ever felt like you're falling behind, just look around. You will find so many doors opening quietly, just for you. And behind each of those doors is a quiet message. Thank you for paving the way, making our own journey a little bit easier. Next up is reason number 4, forming deeper connections with your family. I used to think happiness was a full house with a full table, but sometimes I look around that table. The food was there, but my loved ones were miles away in their minds. No one left their chair, but no one was truly present with each other. After 60, I learned a slow meal, an unexpected touch of a hand. These are the threads that keep a life from unraveling. Now, free from work, I have time to share a slow meal with my kids, to really ask how my grandkids are doing, to notice the tiny changes on my family's faces I once missed. That connection isn't loud. It's a quiet warmth that spreads deeper than ever before. A landmark Harvard study on what makes a long and happy life revealed that the quality of our relationships, not money or fame, is the single most important factor for a healthy and meaningful later life. A friend of mine, Carol, told me that for 30 years she almost never had dinner with her daughter. After retiring, she started a weekly tradition of cooking for her family. No big parties, just the chicken soup recipe her own mother taught her. Now, every Saturday evening, her family gathers, and her granddaughter, usually glued to her phone, now just wants to sit with her. Because grandma tells the best stories one's mom never tells. It's the same for me. I call my sister more often. I write letters to my old college roommate. Sometimes just sending my son a photo of the cake I baked is enough for him to text back. Hey mom, are you free this weekend? I'd love to come over. At this age, you don't need a crowded social calendar. What you need are a few people who truly know you're there for them and you know are there for you. If you've thought that life after 60 is a quiet affair, just look again at your dinner table, an old photograph, an album. You have a whole world of love, just waiting to be embraced with your time, your patience, and your open heart. Connection isn't built in the highlight reels. It's built in the simple moments when we are truly there for each other. And the final reason? Less social pressure, more slow and authentic living. I used to pick outfits not because I liked them, but because I was afraid of looking different. I'd post vacation photos just to have something to share, even if I felt exhausted. And then one day I saw the gray in my hair, and I let out a sigh of relief. Finally, I didn't have to be on trend anymore. I just had to be me. After 60, no one is waiting for you to prove yourself, and you no longer feel the need to. This is one of the rare times in life when you can live slowly, authentically, free from the pull of invisible competitions. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the youngest. You don't have to please anyone. You just need to be content, at peace, and true to yourself. Research from the University of California shows that people over 60 experience significantly less social anxiety than younger people. They're less influenced by others' opinions and more likely to make choices that align with their inner values. I think of the old man next door who wears the same old shirt and slippers to his garden every day. I once asked him, "Don't you feel self-conscious?" He just smiled. About what? At this age, being able to walk, see the sunshine, and hear the birds. That's a blessing. I understood him. I was once nervous about letting my hair go gray, but now, looking at my silver hair in the mirror, I see a different kind of beauty. A beauty in not hiding. A beauty that is truly me. I started living more slowly. I sip my coffee. I walk without checking my watch. I read without taking notes. I smile for no reason. And strangely enough, the people who truly care are still here and in fact are even closer. If you are living a quieter life, look again. It might not be loneliness. It might be liberation from everything you no longer need. Living authentically doesn't make you lose anyone. It just brings the people who truly love you even closer. There's a strange thing about getting older. The more years that pass, the more you see the very things you once feared are actually gifts. Youth gives you opportunities, but old age gives you depth. When you turn 60, you no longer need to race against anyone. You start to see the value in a peaceful morning, a hot cup of tea, a call from someone you love. No rush, no pretense, just enough. You have navigated so many storms. You have loved, lost, laughed, and cried. And now you possess something that can't be bought. A deep sense of knowing, a sense of peace. Maybe you don't climb mountains anymore, but now you know how to watch a single leaf fall and see the beauty in it. That is the gift of age, seeing the world more slowly, more deeply, and with more gratitude. If this video made you smile or even just helped you take a slower breath, then it's done its job. Perhaps you could share this with a friend, someone also crossing that 60-year milestone, who might need a reminder that they're entering one of the most rewarding chapters of their life. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'll see you in the quiet moments ahead.